Sean Bell. Probably the next most high-profile politician in that spotlight is your One Nation leader, Pauline Hanson. She wants Australia to be monocultural, not multicultural. That's caused quite a stir. What do you think, Sean, that monoculture means to you?
Can I just quickly say that on the budget, that rumblings about Angus Taylor's leadership are absurd, because right now there's two people who should be resigning, and that's Albanese and Jim Chalmers, because what they did with the budget was a disgrace. They knew it was broken. They rushed it through with the Greens anyway. So what I'll say in regards to the monoculture, it's funny because we keep getting questions from journalists and left-wing politicians who seem very confused about it. But Senator Hanson's spoken about this. I think the Australian people understand. You know, and actually, on the topic of Angus Taylor, he seemed a bit confused, but it appears he got some talking points from Tony Abbott, who cleared him up on that. I mean, Australians want one culture, and they are sick and tired of... and look, multiculturalism is an ideology.
Bridget McKenzie's shaking her head at that.
OK, well, Bridget, look, I'm sorry if you're confused and you support multiculturalism.
No, I'm not, Sean. I'm going to wait till you finish, and then I'll have my...
Bridget, all right, you'll have your say. So, look, multiculturalism was imposed upon Australians by Gough Whitlam and the Labor Party back in the 70s. It's divisive and it hurts the country. One Nation rejects the failed ideology of multiculturalism. It's that simple.
Alex, I'm here in the UK speaking at a conference that is wanting to protect and promote Western civilisation. A heritage that we proudly uphold in Australia, one that's based on equality under law, a free enterprise, respect, fairness, and private property rights and the like. All of our British heritage. That needs to be our dominant culture. We need to protect and promote our dominant culture. English needs to be our national language. We need to be proud and unrepentant about that. And we need to withstand the attacks from the left on trying to change that and minimise that. But those values are not dependent on the colour of your skin. They're not actually dependent on the language you speak at home.
Well, hold on, Bridget.
The reality is...
You know that Senator
Hanson has
never said anything about the colour of anyone's skin.
Sorry, Sean.
Bridget,
Sean, I let you have your say.
Stand there
I'd
and
appreciate
say that the colour of anyone's skin has anything to do with this. You know that is not true.
I'm not... Sean, with the greatest of respect, my point was our country is based on British heritage. I'm here in the UK seeking to promote and protect Western civilisation and our values. We need to make sure that they remain our dominant culture in Australia. The idea that we're going to go to a mono... Sorry, stop interrupting, Sean. It's not how this works. So having a homogenous monoculture, how are you actually going to achieve that? That's what I would like to know. I want to see Western values being the dominant culture, English being the national language, as it should be, and that should not be dependent on the colour of your skin or indeed the language you speak at home. And I think if you don't agree with that, you shouldn't come to Australia. You shouldn't be here, because I'm very proudly going to represent those Western values that we've inherited from our British forefathers, and I'm going to stand up for them. Okay. Every single day.
So you'll help us repeal multiculturalism.
Sean, I'm going to have to interrupt, and I do apologise for that. It's my fault for getting this started without the time to get it finished. So I apologise to both of you, especially Bridget McKenzie, who's enduring a heat wave, rarely in the UK, and a late-night finish for her. So thank you both to Bridget McKenzie and Sean Bell.